Good afternoon, everybody, and thanks for joining us on KXAN Live. I'm Will Dupree, coming to you from the KXAN Live studio with some breaking news. Right now, you're looking at live chopper video from downtown Fort Worth, where dozens of first responders are working an explosion scene there. This is reported at a hotel in downtown Fort Worth. Let's take a look right here. You can see that a number of police officers and other members of the emergency management committees there in Fort Worth are surveying this scene. At least the bottom two floors of this hotel in downtown Fort Worth have been blown off. As the camera pulls back there, you can see that the facade of the bottom two floors of that are strewn about in the street there in downtown Fort Worth. Some first responders there on the roof of what looks like a parking garage across the street, potentially trying to gather some more information. But we wanted to show you and jump on here and share at least a live look of this. There is very little information to pass along about what happened here because this scene is so active. So we just want to bring you this live picture from downtown Fort Worth and let you know that this explosion is reported at the Sandman Signature Fort Worth Hotel. This is in the 800 block of Houston Street. And as you can see, there is debris, parts of the walls, windows strewn in the street there. This explosion sits along 8th Street between Houston and Throckmorton, if you're familiar with that area in Fort Worth in North Texas. This is what's happening there. What we're told is that police have blocked off a number of the streets in downtown Fort Worth to be able to continue investigating this. There are reports of multiple injuries. We do not have an official number to pass along at this time, but we will share that information with you as soon as we're able to get it. Right now, you're looking at first responders on top of a parking garage just across the street from that hotel where the explosion happened. It looks like they are a number of officers there with long guns and some of their protective equipment there. Unsure why they're exactly doing this right now, but of course the investigation is well underway and first responders are covering that area in downtown Fort Worth at the moment, trying to get a better understanding of what has happened there. There we are, zooming in on a number of other first responders again, gathered just a block north of that Fort Worth hotel where this explosion happened. Reports came in just after 3 this afternoon, we're told, and of course this investigation is very early right now. We anticipate that first responders will give some sort of briefing to reporters who are working the scene there, and when that happens we'll be able to carry that, but right now we have very little information to share at this time other than these pictures that we're showing you right now. Our sister station in Dallas and Fort Worth is bringing us this helicopter footage, and you can see they're looking at the building across the street there. It doesn't look like there's too much damage to that building at this time, but as the camera pans back down, you can see the damage to the hotel there. The first 2 floors apparently are the most damaged, but you can see a little bit in the middle of your screen there that it looks like under the sidewalk that is opened up because of this explosion. Initial reports are that there are multiple injuries to this explosion, but again, very little information coming from first responders right now. They are understandably tied up trying to investigate what's happening here, seeing if there are additional injured people or potential fatalities. No information to share at this time about that, so you'll just have to hang with us as we await more details coming in from Fort Worth. If you're just joining us, I'm Will Dupree in the KXAN Live studio. Our sister station in Dallas-Fort Worth is bringing footage from their helicopter to show us these live images above downtown Fort Worth where an explosion has happened at a hotel there. There you can see the sign there on the corner. Bits of the building are strewn about the street there. A massive scene there where an explosion happened this afternoon. The initial reports are that there have been multiple injuries. More information about that is forthcoming. So again, stay with us as we work to gather more details from first responders. But there is a massive cleanup and potentially a recovery situation there. A ladder up to the 2nd floor from the ground at that hotel. A number of first responders circling that building, trying to gauge that situation and also share information out there about what happened. What they are sharing is that anyone in that area in downtown Fort Worth, they're shutting down the streets, asking them to stay away because of the response there. And we will post along and pass along updates about that situation as soon as we get them. But we wanted to jump on here and be able to share at least a look at what's happening there. So if you know someone who is in downtown Fort Worth or lives up there in North Texas, maybe pass this details, what we're sharing right now on to them. At least they might be questioning maybe what the sound of that was, because the reports that started coming in on social media was that there was a loud boom. And now that the helicopter shot is showing us this extensive damage to that hotel in downtown Fort Worth. There you can see the bottom 2 floors of that are what is mostly affected. The whole front there almost blown off of the building and into the street, and a number of first responders are there. We're going to wrap up our live stream now, but we appreciate you joining us this afternoon for at least this live look in downtown Fort Worth. As more information comes out, stay with us on KXAN.com and the KXAN News mobile app, because we'll post along and share any updates there first. So please keep us handy this afternoon and into this evening as we get additional details about what's unfolding there in Fort Worth. But for now, I'm Will Dupree in the KXAN Live studio. Thank you all for joining us for our live stream. We're going to wrap this up now and send you on our way, and we will have more updates coming up soon on KXAN. Thanks again for watching. Take care.